there were any one period in time one would desire to be born in,
I became a master.
Imagined scenario for a real one.
Hey everyone, it's Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. In a world built to keep you asleep, a few are born with the fire to remember. And there comes a moment in every soul's journey where the illusion cracks, when the truth is no longer just a whisper in your dreams, but a roaring fire in your spirit. On November the 8th, in the heart of Los Angeles and on live stream, I'll be joined by my brothers Mike Rashid King and Robert Edward Grant, warriors of the mind, body, and soul. This is Manifest Destiny 2025, a gathering of warriors, seekers, and creators of the new earth. You'll leave with tools, you will leave with family, and most of all, you'll leave with the God frequency to change your life and the world around you. And there's only 800 seats available in person, and when they're gone, they're gone. So go to manifestdestiny2025.com and get your tickets today.
Wash your head.
Yep, I'm a duck. Wash your head right here.
Yeah, I'm too small. I don't have that much.
Same. I don't think they're.
All right. Let me get a mic check. 1 2 1 2 with everybody in the house. What's going on, everybody? Can you hear me? Let me know in the live chat if you can hear me. I wanted to make sure my audio was up and running. Seemed like I had a little bit of a disconnect. Check, check. What's up, FaZe Griffin? All right. Yeah, that was entrance, or the entrance underneath the step pyramid of Saqqara. And that's, of course, in Egypt. I've got some great clips tonight. It's going to be a great conversation. I'm in here kind of late, but again, I am here. So this is for the night owls, and I know some people probably in Europe are really in the middle of the AM hours, but I couldn't get on any earlier today. But I'm pretty sure some people will go ahead and watch this tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Egyptian mysteries, and we'll talk about a little bit about 3i Atlas tonight, and maybe it's even directly connected to ancient Egypt. We don't know. We'll see. It's going to be a great conversation. So what's going on, everyone? I see some great people in the live chat. Lisa, Thothkin, we got Gina, Amy. Looks like Ian or Ian or Ian. Interesting name there. Sorry if I mispronounced it. Tales Beyond the Veil, Gina, yeah, Zakaya, Eric. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for hopping on. I know it's kind of late. But I'll show you guys some incredible guys and gals, some incredible photos and videos tonight, and talk a little bit about my experience in Egypt. You know, I just got back. I'm still trying to catch up on my sleep. I'm still trying to catch up on work. I've been working pretty much around the clock nonstop. Tonight, I got on a little bit late because I actually took a power nap before getting on here because, again, I have been up since 3 a.m. again. I've been up since 3 a.m. every single day, trying to get a lot of these projects completed. All right. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hopping on, and it'll be a great talk tonight. I'm going to start talking first about Egypt. All right. Just got back from that incredible tour. We had close to 100 people with us on this tour, and it truly was the Forbidden Tour of Egypt. One of the best tours yet. Okay. One of the best tours yet. And, you know, these tours, every time we do them, they get better and better. They develop, they evolve, just like anything you do repeatedly should get better and better and better. So we utilize the code, the frequency that Andre Edwards posted up here, right? My formula, CT multiplied by A equals M. And we utilize that to manifest a better and better reality every single time. The first time that I took people to Egypt years ago, we did what would be a 12-day tour in only 8 days. Okay. And why did we do that? Well, I didn't know any better. To be quite honest with you, I didn't realize how taxing that could be on the human body to do that many things in that short period of time. In hindsight, looking back now, obviously it was a lot to do 12 days worth of touring, and the 12 days already maxed out. Can you imagine condensing that to 8 days? Everyone was exhausted. Everyone was like beat up, but everyone got through it. And at the end of the tour, everyone cried because they feel like they accomplished something incredible. You know, we had seen so many places, so many sites, and experienced so many things in such a short period of time. We were getting up at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock a.m. every single day and getting back to the hotels and switching many hotels, by the way, because we didn't have the cruise like we do now, switching around the every single night almost to a different hotel in different parts of the country, and getting back at 9, 10 o'clock every night, and then getting back up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning again, and doing that every single day for 8 days. And then, we're talking about doing probably close to 100 miles of hiking and walking in only 8 days. So I remember that's where I got the nickname, or they gave me the nickname, or the tour, the nickname, the Billy Boot Camp. Okay. So it was, it was incredible. Wow. It was tough. Some people were, some of the younger guys, even on that tour, they were struggling by the third or fourth day. Their legs were completely jelly. They were sore. My legs were already fine. Of course, I'm leading the tour. I can't be weak. But this is my lifestyle. So you kind of get used to these kind of things. But for most people, it was kind of challenging. Right. And then the next year after that, we expanded it from 8 days to 10 days. So let's move this to 10 days. Both years we had, again, 2.5 days on the Nile, which was the boat. The rest of it, again, was driving on the buses through the desert. And we expanded it a little bit, gave 2 more extra days, figured, okay, this should work. This should make it a little bit easier on the body. It was just as brutal, but it was still a little bit I would say it took a little bit of the edge off, kind of a little bit. We had maybe like 2 good nights where we got in at a reasonable time throughout the entire trip, but still exciting. Everyone had a great time. Again, these are life-changing experiences. Then the next year comes, and I do 2 tours that year and change it to a 12-day tour. So we got a 12-day tour, and then I had a smaller 4.5-day tour back to back. And that got a lot better again. Again, spreading it out, giving people a little bit more time to recover, not having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning every single morning. Made it better to get up at sometimes 5, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. in certain days. Even 1 or 2 days was 9 a.m., which is pretty reasonable. So again, the evolution of the tour just keeps getting better and better, right? And then after that, it was it was a back-to-back tour. So first it was the 12-day, then a back-to-back 4.5 day. So people came in as everyone was going out. And we did a very short tour, just focusing on the Giza Plateau and Saqqara. That was a piece of cake. That was like, I could do that blindfolded. All right, so that was pretty great. And then the next year, again, we come back and we have the 12-day tour, but it's reorganized and rearranged in a way that made it more efficient, made it more comfortable, and still challenging. It's still going to be, no matter what you do, it's going to be challenging to do these sites in only 12 days. But we found a way to make it a little less challenging. We had nicer, new Mercedes-Benz buses with really thick cushioned seats, bathrooms on board on the tour bus. We were in control of these buses, so they weren't like rented buses from someone else. It was my partner in Egypt, and we had our own buses now, and we had a little bit more control over that. We were able to. And when we flew from Cairo to Luxor with everybody, and that flight, by the way, is included. We pay for that flight. We were able to take the luggage and put the luggage on our buses and have our buses rendezvous with us in Luxor. So the buses met us in Luxor, took all the luggage, which took a lot of anxiety away from traveling with all the luggage. As you know, women are going to overpack. So the first few years going to the airport to fly from Cairo to Luxor and having the women bring, I mean, an abundant amount of luggage. I was like, are you moving to Egypt? So by the third time, I realized, okay, we put this luggage on the bus and we'll send the bus ahead and we'll rendezvous with the bus. We'll just fly with no luggage. Maybe just have some carry-ons, okay? And so that made that took anxiety down and made the passing of 100 people through an airport a lot easier. Pretty much everybody on the airplane was us, but we were having a lot of issues with all that luggage in the previous years. And then, again, another year goes by, right? We say, let's take this to another level. Instead of doing 2.5 days on the Nile, let's go ahead and do 7 days on the Nile and focus on having the Nile cruise stop at the ports along the way, the same ports we would normally go to by bus, so we don't have to spend all of our time 5 to 6 hours a day on buses and changing too many hotels. And once we figured that out, wow, boom, that's when we really hit it off. So now what we did was we get on the buses, right, in the first 3 days or 4 days of the tour, because we're in the Cairo Saqqara area. So we're not really going far. We're leaving the hotel and going out to the local sites. After that, then we hop on an airplane, fly from Cairo to Luxor. Again, our luggage is already waiting for us in Luxor. It's already been sent on the buses ahead of us. That took the anxiety down, made it easier to travel. We get to Luxor. Now we're going straight to the Nile cruise, and we're going to be on the Nile cruise then for 7 days. 3 nice luxury chef-cooked meals per day with a great staff. Hand-picked food, imported chef, right? We have the rooftop on the boat, a pool, a sun deck, a fitness center on top, overlooking the Nile. So now it took the anxiety down. We're not riding on the bus 5-6 hours every single day. And when we get to the next port of call, the buses are there to pick us up. And now we're only on the buses for maybe 35, 45 minutes. Made it so much easier. So much more relaxing, so much more enjoyable, like next level enjoyable, right? You have your cabin, you can go relax in your room if you want to. There's so much to do. And so every single day on the Nile, then I give lectures. So I'm lecturing every day for an hour and a half, 2 hours every day. So it's turning the Nile cruise into like a floating conference. Muhammad Ibrahim is doing his lectures. I am doing my lectures. He's phenomenal. I mean, this guy is a wealth of knowledge. He's like the Egyptian forbidden knowledge. I mean, he's an archaeologist and the #1 Egyptian guide, literally, that exists. And his knowledge aligns perfectly with my knowledge. And so to see a homegrown Egyptian and that's gone to university, that is an archaeologist, that is a guide, licensed and everything else, to be in complete alignment with my knowledge, and we are synchronistic, our information really, really goes together and complements one another. And to have him on there, it's like having another version of myself. I call him my brother. He calls me his brother. There on the Nile cruise, teaching every single day. So you get between myself and him at least 3 to 4 hours a day of teaching down the Nile. It's optional. You don't have to be there, but pretty much everyone comes down to the conference hall, and that time of day, and we just teach for those hours. So every single day we're getting these lectures and conferences. It's just amazing. Q&A and all that kind of great stuff. So like I said, every year just gets better. And then of course, when we get done with that in Luxor, we fly back to Cairo. Again, the luggage is sent ahead of us back to Cairo. We fly to Cairo with no stress, relaxed, peaceful, calm. And then we then stay in a hotel again. This particular tour, we were at the Four Seasons, got to be at that Four Seasons. And then on the back end of the trip, we were at the brand new Hyatt Centric. It's brand spanking new. We were probably the first people to sleep in those rooms. That's how new it is. It's like a gigantic resort, brand spanking new, high-end, high-level resort. It was amazing. 4 amazing 5-star restaurants on property. This is how we do it. We're out here glamping in the desert. It's just phenomenal. It's next level stuff, next level. So every year the tours evolve and get better and better and better. All right. And so that's what it's all about. I'll show you a picture of us in front of the Great Pyramid. Okay, let's see here. There we go. There we go. There we all go right there. That's right in front of the Great Pyramid on the corner. And I'm on the ground right in front towards the lower to my right. All right. I'm on the ground right here because I'm too tall and I got to be in the front because it's my tour. So, but yeah, just an amazing group of people. Everyone, man, was so nice. But they all are. All my tours, the people are so nice, so loving, so kind. It's like real family. They're just these people are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. You can talk to them about anything. Nobody's going to shun you. Nobody's going to tell you to shut up. Nobody's going to act like you're crazy. We literally build a great community on every tour, and every tour has its own community, WhatsApp group, like the 2021, 22, 23, all the way through 25 group now. And everyone in there is always communicating, talking, sharing pictures, knowledge, video clips, imagery. Some people have gotten married now. I think we got 3 weddings. People who just met each other on my tours now are married. We've had proposals on the tours when they said yes. And people have become lifelong friends that have met up with one another. And 1/3 of the people that go on my trips travel with me nonstop. So 1/3 will always be there coming to the next tour outside of Egypt. And this particular tour, I had a woman named Joanne who came on Egypt last year, came right back to Egypt again. Normally what they do is the ones who have come to Egypt, they show up with me in like Cambodia, Peru, Mexico, Australia, wherever I'm going next, but it's just a great, loving, kind group of incredible people. Here's a picture of us here in front of the Temple of Edfu, where you have the Edfu text on the wall. The Edfu text, the time of Zep Tepi, where it talks about in the beginning times, where the gods came down from heaven to earth and turned mud into a kingdom. The Edfu texts are in there. And again, just look at this great group photo. Just, man, amazing. It's hard to believe that this tour's already come to an end, but what a great tour this was. Such an amazing tour. We had a really, really good time. Really good time. And now, before I get to the crescendo of the tour, I want to talk about a little bit about the Great Pyramid. Here I am standing on the outside. Somebody caught this candid photo of me. I don't know who caught this candid photo, but shout out to them, whoever it was. Thank you for taking this pic. I'm standing out here. I'm not really sure what I'm thinking at this moment, but it was amazing. It was amazing. All right. And I just know that when you're standing next to the Great Pyramid, you're standing inside of a time dilation bubble because there's 2 million blocks of solid stone, and 2 million blocks of stone create a certain amount of mass, and that mass actually has an appreciable effect on time. If I had an atomic clock in my pocket right here, and you were 10 miles away with an atomic clock, and we both checked the time before you left to go 10 miles away, and then we checked the time after you were 10 miles away on the clock, you'll find that my atomic clock was ticking ever so slightly slower than your atomic clock in your pocket. Why? Because of time dilation. Time actually begins to slow down when you're standing directly next to the Great Pyramid. The Great Pyramid, as you can see here, if you can really analyze these stones, I don't know if it's a great angle for you to see, but each one of those stones is a different size. There are no 2 stones the same. We're talking about each stone is an individual fingerprint. Each stone is cut and created specifically for the exact location that it sits in. And it's an interlocking stone construction, meaning that the way that the stones are set up, they interlock to hold the structure together. So that means that every single individual stone is unique. So throw out the cookie cutter stone concept ideas where somebody just went to a rock quarry and started hacking away at a giant mountain and hacked out these solid blocks of stone at specific sizes and then rolled them across the desert and put them in place. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Each individual stone is created specifically only for the exact location that it sits in. So you have to be able to create these stones in real time exactly where you need them. There is no rolling these things across the desert and waiting to see if they work out. You would be wasting an incredible amount of resources and energy. You have to know exactly where they're going to go and where they fit and interlock. It's a gigantic 2 million stone block puzzle. And you have to know where each piece of the puzzle fits ahead of time, which means you have to have foreknowledge. You have to have foreknowledge. Think about that for a minute. All right? You have to have that foreknowledge. And to do this, it takes an incredible amount of logistics, planning. You have to have pre-thought the archaeological blueprint way ahead of time. You have to understand that the resources of a civilization cannot be wasted. So I can't take 100,000 men and whatever else it took in terms of resources, whether it was livestock, animals, feeding the people who are working all day. That takes a lot of food because you have to have energy to work, and whatever other materials it took for them to supposedly move these blocks and everything else and cut them. We're talking about a significant amount of potential resources to create and build a structure that large and that complex. So if you're going to do something like this, you don't do it by accident. You don't say, let's just get together and start throwing these stones up and see if this works out. That's not how it works. You have to pre-think. You have to have foreknowledge. You have to know that it's going to work out before you lay down the first foundation stone. You already know exactly where everything's going to be and how it's going to be set up, what the astronomical alignments are going to be, how to align with star systems and constellations over processional periods. You have to account for the bedrock and how you're going to dig this huge, massive structure beneath the bedrock before the pyramid even exists. You have to understand how you're going to cut through solid stone to create these shafts that go down to the deepest of levels and shoot straight up towards the different specific stars on certain constellation or alignments with constellations like Orion, Aldebaran, Ursa Minor, Ursa Major, Sirius B, and all these alignments that exist. All this takes an immense amount of foreknowledge. And then the mathematical precision built into the structure itself. Not to mention that the Great Pyramid sits exactly at the center of landmass on Earth. Not the center of the Earth, the center of land mass. In other words, where the pyramid is, if you draw a line right down the center of the apex, straight through the bottom of the pyramid, and look at the land to the left, and then look at the land mass to the right, that's all above water, and then add those masses together, you'll find you're exactly at 50% of the land mass at your exact location. And then add to that one more incredible feat. If you look at the USGS.gov magnetic field survey, which is available to the general public, you then find that one of the largest magnetic field whips out of the earth right there at the exact location of the Great Pyramid. We're talking about things that are virtually impossible based on the explanation by mainstream archaeology that these people use chicken bones, copper chisels, and kind of haphazardly threw some stones together up mud ramps. The theories fall apart instantly. First of all, you would need more mud than the mass of the pyramid itself to make the ramps. So the mud ramp theory, throw it in the garbage, it's trash. Floating stones down the Nile and all this, trash. These stones cannot be there. Some of them are the size of SUVs and 18-wheelers. They're not floating down anywhere. But then again, as like I said, you have to know the exact size and they have to be cut for the location they set in. You can't pre-cut these stones. That's a big conundrum. If you can't pre-cut them, how do you know what to do? How do you get the stone to a location and make sure it fits exactly where it needs to be set? This is a big question mark. No one can answer that question. Nobody. Somebody said in the live chat, who built the pyramids? Well, let's take a look at it this way. If we go on a construction site in modern times, or what we call modern times, we're actually not modern yet. We're just barely scraping the surface of where we can be as a civilization. But let's just say it's modern times, for argument's sake. You go to a construction site, you will see people working on the construction. If you walk up to one of those workers and say, hey, did you create this architectural blueprint? They're going to say no. You say, hey, are you in control of all the workers? They're going to say no. Who's in control of all the workers? Who wrote the blueprint? Well, there's an office. Now, when you go to the construction office, you might find the architect there, but you got to go to a more fancy location in a totally different area to find the architect. He won't be on site most of the time. So the architect he's the master architect, will have the complete blueprint that includes all the math, all the calculus, right? All the weight distribution numbers, all the geometry, all the alignments, all the mathematics that are encoded into this structure. It's all done by the master architect. This gentleman never gets his fingers dirty. His fingernails are clean. He gives that information to a foreman, all right? So you have a manager and a foreman. Those two coordinate with the teams, and they break people off into teams, and they have people that oversee those teams, but those guys still also do labor as well. They oversee and inspect on the fly. Now they're doing some labor, but the foreman himself is not really exactly touching anything, just managing the managers of the different sections of the construction. And then you have the actual workers, the Ijiji, they call it in the ancient Sumerian tablets, the worker bees who actually go out there and do the actual labor. They're the ones moving the stones with whatever technique they have. They're the ones cutting them with whatever technique they have based on instructions and training. So long story short, you have elite advanced beings at one end that are the master architects that created the blueprint. You have somebody intermediary that is overseeing things. And then on the other side, you have human beings doing the actual physical labor. And we know that they were doing the physical labor because one of the rundown temples on site there at Giza, we found records. Actual saved records of the workers, records of their pay. Yeah, they got paid. They weren't slaves, by the way. These records are in the museum. There's no slaves built the pyramid. And we even have records of some of the injuries that some of them had: broken bone, broken arm, broken leg, whatever, dislocated shoulder, whatever the case may be, and their medical record that they had repair done or they had surgery. All this stuff is in the museum. It's well known, common knowledge. So we're talking about a system that had been put in place to build the Great Pyramid. So the answer is kind of a multifaceted answer. It's not, aliens built the pyramid. It's somebody from somewhere, according to the ancient Egyptians, came here at the time of Zep-Tepi with advanced knowledge, laid out the architectural blueprint, and then trained humans on what to do, and then coordinated with them and orchestrated this grand masterpiece. So everyone had their hand in the construction of this, whether it be from the architectural standpoint or whether it be from the actual labor standpoint and everything in between. It was a collaborative effort. This is what most people don't seem to understand or know. But again, most people have never been there, so they can only go by what they heard on TV or Google, and that's not going to get the answers done. Now, you have to show up there, and you have to be there in person. Otherwise, you'll never be able to come up with the understanding that I just explained to you just now. But the people on my tours, they know now. Oh, they know. They know it's real. Okay. Now, let's see. Let me look in here. And show you something else amazing. So we go to the Temple of Hebjetset, and we're having a great red carpet affair. We're having an incredible dinner at the Temple of Hebjetset, and the backdrop is magnificent. The views are incredible. I'm doing a whole video just on that. Everyone got dressed up nice, right? And everyone looks incredible. And we're really having a great time out there. And I'm on stage giving thanks. Muhammad's on stage next to me giving thanks. And everyone is just listening and so grateful to be out there in this amazing scene at an ancient site, actually eating dinner. We walked down a red carpet. There was entertainment. There was singing. There was a band and DJs and food and servers and everything else in the middle of the desert. I'm looking for another photo that I can upload to you here real quick while we're live. And it was such an incredible day. People were so happy. They had never thought they would experience anything like this. And I have to tell you, after doing so many tours, that was one of the nicest experiences I've ever had on a tour since I've been doing tours. Forget even doing tours, since I've been alive. Last year, we were in Karnak. We rented out the entire Karnak temple for the night and had a private party in Karnak. And I thought that was an amazing crescendo. This particular one outdid that. And so there's one more photo that I did want to upload if I can find it real quick. That outdid that one, which was amazing. And while I'm looking for this photo, I'm going to play a clip for you. This clip is going to be a clip of me. I'm standing at the top of the Grand Gallery inside of the Great Pyramid. So I'm going to play this clip for you real quick. I'm standing inside the Grand Gallery in here. And let me pull this up real quick while I'm looking for this. And I'm videotaping everyone coming up the Grand Gallery as I'm directing them into the King's Chamber. Now, keep in mind, the longitude of the location I'm standing in are the same exact digits of the speed of light. Yeah. I'm just trying to capture everybody for video purposes. So we have something for them. It's crazy, isn't it? It's mind-blowing.
Yeah. Listen, one side, one chair, man.
Hey, you wanted to run it back, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You got it almost there, man. You're almost there. I got this.
About 20 yards, keep your head low.
Okay. Doing great. It's worth it, don't worry. You got some great action.
Wow.
Welcome to the Billy Boot Camp.
Keep those knees up. Keep those knees up. A little bit of knowledge, a little bit of fortitude. You know? All those carbs.
Hiking inside of the pyramids. All right, you did it. Come on.
Come on, Mr. Henry, take your time. Take your time.
Yeah.
You got the self-freezing spike in the mid.
Is there any security in there?
Oh, yeah. Someone take a photo of me, anyone?
I got you.
I'm taking a photo right now.
A little ways. Then you can stand up right there. Yeah, take your time.
Now, trust me, this looks like an easy walk. This is not an easy walk. They're actually coming up a great incline towards me. All right. This angle is kind of deceptive. You did great. You did amazing.
Thank you. Good job. Just a minute.
All right, stay low, stay low, stay low.
You did it, Stephanie.
All right, sir. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I can't believe you got me.
Come on, brother.
75.
Hey, man, you doing it, brother.
75 years old.
75 is the new 50.
Yes.
Stay low, stay low.
You got this, Willie. Right through these doors.
Hiking inside the pyramids, y'all.
William's up here. Come on, man.
Willie up in here.
Come on, William. Come on, brother. Come on, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Good job, Willie.
Go ahead.
Take your time.
Take a second.
Good job.
Come on, Quinn. Good job.
Proud of you.
You can stand up right here.
You got to stay low.
Stand up
Go a
right
little
there.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go in right there and stand
There's the middle part. You can stand up for a minute. Hey.
How far are we? Halfway?
28 feet.
You're almost there.
Two crawls. Two crawls in.
You got this, Quinn?
Now,
You got
I'm
this?
dropping a link in the comments to the next Forbidden Tour of Egypt. I just dropped the link in the live comments, live chat. It's also in the caption of this video or this audio. If you're looking at me on Instagram or X or some other platform, the link will be in my bio. Just click that link. All right. And but yeah, that's amazing. Like I said, the tour is just amazing. Amazing tour. We had a 73-year-old woman, Joanne, second time coming on tour with me to Egypt, climbing in these pyramids and hiking up these pyramids on the inside. People don't realize how large these things are on the inside. We hike and crawl. That was actually a very comfortable part of the Grand Gallery. There's a part that's not that comfortable where for me, I'm completely crouched over, almost down in a bear crawl position for about 50 yards. Because if I stand up, my head's gone. And then you come up that steep Grand Gallery into an area that has magnificent megalithic granite, magnetized crystal granite. And it's so low, you have to really get super low and walk about 20 yards completely crouched or crawl to get into the actual King's Chamber, which is the location for the fusion chamber, which I go over extensively. And then in there, it's just a whole nother world inside of there. But these pyramids, you can go and hike in these pyramids I've been in some of these pyramids for hours. I spent 5 hours in the pyramid that night, 5 hours in the Great Pyramid that night. It's just, you can't even explain it in words when you get inside the King's Chamber. It's another level, right? And the people have the most incredible experience of their life. You know, some of them really toughed it out to get up there. William is an ex-veteran with a lot of injuries from being in the military to his lungs and his knees and his back. That's why I was cheering him on the hardest, because he almost didn't come on this tour. He was going to cancel. He actually did cancel, by the way. He canceled the tour and he had to rebook again. He rebooked like a few months later. He got the courage up and he said, you know, I'm going to come. And William was an absolute trooper. With all the pain and agony he was in, he still was able to achieve and accomplish pretty much everything on the tour. So shout out to William, man, for having the courage to come out there and just be able to experience this once in his lifetime, you know. And so Joanne and several others were up there in age. You saw the 75-year-old gentleman as well come up the Grand Gallery. He did everything. You know, and that's how I want to be as I age, man. I just want to be able to continue to move around like that. They really inspire me to keep going and to stay in shape and to keep exploring, you know. And I'm going to drop the link in the live chat again to the Forbidden Tour of Egypt. And while I'm doing that, I did just upload something to Dropbox. So let me see if I can download a couple more incredible clips for you real quick while I got you on here, because these clips are just, and I have one more incredible clip that is still next level mind-blowing that I haven't shown you yet. Let me see if I can find one or two more of these incredible clips, or at least photos here real quick. Man, this was such a great tour. Everyone was so good. I mean, they just really powered through everything, you know, and like I said, it just inspired me. Inspires me to keep going, you know, just inspires me to keep going. Let's see, this is one. Yeah, let me download this. And this one here. Let's see which one this is. Yeah, oh, this is going to be great. You're going to love this video clip. Yeah, and so the other pyramids we went to, the Red Pyramid, we did the Bent Pyramid. Those pyramids were magnificent. Climbing inside those pyramids, hiking inside those pyramid shafts. Yeah, those are even more challenging than the Great Pyramid, believe it or not, in terms of the steepness of the angle and everything else. It was just another level. And again, people just really, no matter what age, no matter what physical strength they had, they powered through. But part of the reason why they powered through, to be honest with you, is a huge part of it is because the pyramids themselves and these temples that we go to, they seem to display or convey some type of healing power. In some way, they actually make you feel better. They make you feel stronger. They make you feel more energetic. And they, some of the, like, I have an injury in my hip from playing basketball 8 months ago, and I was able to power through this entire tour. I never felt the pain until the very end because I jumped off of a little ledge and I had a little tweak there, nothing major, but a little one. I jumped off to this ledge at the end of the tour. Maybe I had like a 4-foot jump. Other than that, I was incredible. I was like, wow, I really didn't feel anything hurting me, no pain in my hip. And again, it's because these sites are really energetic. And people used to utilize these sites in the ancient past as healing areas that are known more as places of healing, places to go to heal internal wounds, internal organs, and external wounds. And then, of course, ligament damage and all kinds of things. People have had the most miraculous things happen to them in these sites where, for whatever reason, while they are there, they feel phenomenal. They kind of go back in time a little bit. They can do the things that they normally wouldn't be able to do on a normal day. They can do it over there in Egypt in some weird way. It just happens. And so it's just incredible to see. It's mind-blowing. The way that these before I show you the next image, the way that these pyramids and these temples are set up, these pyramids and temples are multifunctional stone computers and machines. They're a combination. They don't just have one function. Kind of like you have a laptop, right? You have a laptop or you have a cell phone device, right? So on that device, if you don't have a certain level of knowledge, you have the basic level of knowledge, you can use that device or that laptop to just check email. So that would be like level number one. I use this device to check email. If you have a little bit more knowledge, you can use that device to write email, right? And you can even use that device to check on files and even create files. If you have a little bit more knowledge above that, you can utilize the device to do video editing, the same exact device now, to do video editing, create content. If you have a little bit more knowledge above that, you can utilize the device as an engineering tool to design buildings, structures, lay out floor plans, do interior design. And I can just keep going and going and going. It's the same device. There's only one device, but depending on your level of knowledge, it has all these functions and functionalities that you can access. By the time the knowledge had pretty much been disconnected and fell away, the only thing that persisted over millennia were the healing modalities of these sites. And people kept that because people always want to be healed and feel better. So that was the only thing that the knowledge that kind of kept retained. So you'll hear at a lot of these sites that the people will come here to get healed. Though they understood that the energy within the structure had healing probabilities or possibilities for the human body. So they would come for the healing potential. The other levels of knowledge, Stargate technology, portal technology, computing technology, astrological and aerospace technologies, all those other higher levels where the knowledge was kind of lost, but they kept the healing knowledge because that, for most people, health is wealth. That's the most important thing you can have, is the knowledge of how to stay alive or how to get healed, right? And so they were accessing these machines that had great technological prowess, but they only knew a certain level of access. And that's the access level that persisted over time, the base level, which is healing, okay? Let's take a look at a couple more images here. Let's see this one here. That's that was the Grand Gallery. And then I have don't worry, I still have my crescendo, my incredible crescendo of this whole thing. I've got a video clip that's gonna blow you away. But here we are entering into Hatshepsut Temple, all dressed up. Little mini tour of the temple before we had dinner there. You can see everyone's looking beautiful, looking amazing.
I want you, maybe this is the right time to explain it.
Muhammad's talking now.
In or out, make sure to see that part. where the door used to be two sides, okay? And they made a design inside the granite. And this design, they used to put a metal piece. This metal piece had like 3 edges.
So again, you see the amazing, beautiful people there coming in, getting some knowledge. It was knowledge galore. Knowledge, 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 knowledge. Wherever we were, Muhammad or I would stop you to teach. So you were getting knowledge. We were there for a red carpet dinner, but you were there to get knowledge at the same time. Okay? You were not going to escape getting taught something. That is what it was all about. And let me see if I have another clip of us here. So that was up in there. Let me go to, where's the one of us actually? Oh, I know what it was over here. Boom, let me get it. Here's one of us actually at the dinner. Pull this up now. Let's see. We rented out the whole damn place.
To the right.
Look at the temple in the back of the mountain. That mountain's carved and terraformed.
You're right.
They terraformed the entire mountain. Right where we're standing used to be a part of the mountain. They cut it all away to create the temple in the back. We have our chefs, our amazing food. Everyone's looking amazing. You see Muhammad and his beautiful wife Noha there. Incredible. I'm just telling y'all. Let me go back to this view again. So where we're standing, where we're sitting and eating, used to be a part of this mountain range. I'll pause it right here. And so that mountain range in the back extended all the way out to where we're sitting. The mountain itself was cut and carved and removed in some amazing way. And as you get closer inside the temple, you can see the actual cut, how it's just been cut and sliced to fit this temple in that specific location. Hatshepsut temple. That's the temple of Hatshepsut, a woman that ruled as a pharaoh king for 20 years and did an amazing job. According to her, her father was one of the Neturu, or one of the Anunnaki. And that's how she was able to become king of Egypt and rule for 20 years. And Egypt thrived under her kingship. And that's her temple there, the temple of Hatshepsut. Amenhotep III came in after her, and then, you know, he tried to eradicate her and delete her cartouches from everywhere and try to stamp his cartouche on top of everything. And, you know, people were pissed off that a woman, the higher level elites were pissed off that a woman was ruling and also had success. So imagine going to a location and saying, you know, we'd like to build a temple here. Let's just remove half the mountain. We'll just remove half the mountain to build this temple for our king. It's mind-boggling how this was even done. And if you go up that staircase into the temple of Hatshepsut and go straight through the center, you enter into a back area called the Holy of Holies, where the Saba was located. What is the Saba? The Saba is the Stargate. So the Saba is in the very back. The Saba is in the very back of the Holy of Holies. And behind that and below, there's a tunnel that goes through solid mountain to the Valley of the Kings on the other side, precisely and directly aligned with the tomb of Hatshepsut on the other side of a mountain cut through solid rock. How do you even coordinate the angles? How do you stay on track? And how do you even know you're lining up with the site on the other side to build the tomb? Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. I guarantee you they did not use chicken bones and copper chisels. It didn't happen. Okay? And what an amazing night this was here.
See the moon up there?
Look how beautiful everybody looks.
Full moon.
You know?
To my right. You're right.
Just had a great time.
Over the buffet.
This is one of the greatest tours I've ever been a part of in my life. With the tour group or without. Period. Just the best. Okay? And while we were here, something really amazing happened, which is what I want to get to next. I'm on stage talking with Muhammad, and above our head, there's something flying over. Everyone's recording us. So this was caught on about 8 different cell phones. I'm going to play it again. This is slowed down, but I'm going to also zoom in for you. Look above our heads. There's an object darting across the sky at an enormous amount of speed. You can tell it's fast because why? It's clearing the horizon in seconds. Now, you might not be able to see that well. Here's another view. There you go. I don't know if you can see that over my head, moving across from left to right while we're talking on stage, addressing everyone. Do it again. And I'll zoom in on the next one. This is caught on 8 cell phones that were recording us. And here we go again, zoomed in. Notice how it changes trajectory. It kind of goes up, then straight, then kind of comes down towards the end. So it's not a shooting star. Not a shooting star, and it's very large. To be seen from that distance, extremely large. And the speed is probably somewhere around 2,000 miles per hour to clear the horizon to horizon that fast. And this is slowed down. This is slowed down. I'll play it one more time. Amazing. Not an airplane. So needless to say, everyone was so happy at this event. Everybody was playing back on their phones and going, what is that? It looks a lot bigger on the phone. And they were just blown away. And everybody was comparing their phone. Oh my God, look at my phone, look at my phone. So multiple people caught it from multiple angles at that event outside with me and Muhammad on stage. It was just incredible to be able to capture that. And it wasn't a missile. There's no war going on in Egypt. There's no war going on that you can even see from Egypt. So that was nice to know as well. But yeah, that was incredible. That was incredible. So just another caveat to an amazing Forbidden Tour, right? And I have a little bit more. So I'll drop the link to the live chat again for the next Forbidden Tour of Egypt. Make sure you register ASAP for that event, because as you can see, our events are incredible. They are incredible events, okay? Let's see what this is here. Oh, that was the one I just showed you, okay? And then I have another amazing photo that I want to show. And this one, I believe, was at this same temple, but everyone dressed up really nice for a group photo. An amazing, let me go here, amazing group photo. Let me pull that one up. Video image file. Let's see. Okay, that's it. Oh, here we go. Boom. There we go. Okay, where'd it go? Okay, I didn't click it. Let me go back again. Issue with your file. Please try again. Okay, let me try one more time. Attach this file. Let me delete this one here. I think I might have too many files, so I'll remove one from the studio and attach another one. Image file. That one might be too big, maybe. Okay, let's see. Oh, I know where it's at. Oops. Cancel that. Here's one of me standing there at the Temple of Hatshepsut. And give me a second to pull down one more great photo for y'all that I want to show here of this incredible group photo. Is this in here? Okay, here's one with us at the Sphinx. So let me put this in here real quick. When we go to the Sphinx, we go inside the Sphinx enclosure. Now, I don't know if you understand what that means, but the average tourist will never get inside of the Sphinx enclosure and never, ever touch the Sphinx. It just won't happen. They're about 50 yards away on a ledge, okay? They're about 50 yards away on a ledge. And here we are with our group photo again. And this is close to the last day, or it might have been the day before last. But we're in the Sphinx and we're studying and we're learning about the enclosure, about the Sphinx itself. We're researching around the area inside the Sphinx. One of our people on our tour made a discovery of an object that was carved. It was just laying underneath a couple layers of soil inside the Sphinx enclosure, which was incredible. So we're getting discoveries out there. It was just like, man, what is going on with this tour? This tour is amazing. We showed people the tunnels that go underneath the Sphinx, because we know that they were, Zahi Hawass came on recently and was trying to say that there's no tunnels underneath the Sphinx. Well, we showed them the tunnels. We videotaped and recorded. We put cameras down there and we showed them the tunnels. There's tunnels down there that go on for miles. For miles. Something you can only see on the Forbidden Tour, okay? You're not going to see that anywhere else, only on the Forbidden Tour of Egypt where you see something like that. And we explained the weathering the patterns of weathering and the erosion, and how the erosion actually proves that the Sphinx was built much older than what mainstream says, because erosion of stone does not lie. Erosion of stone is the actual evidence that we've all been looking for. The erosion will tell a story. The erosion of limestone and sandstone, of any kind of stone, it's like reading a book, okay? Reading a good book. And when you read that book, you're going to come to a conclusion and a summary. And at the end of that, reading that book of stone, everyone began to realize, oh man, geologists, not just ones from Egypt, but even like Dr. Robert Schoch, I think he's a Stanford geologist, all come to the same conclusion that the Sphinx is at least 13,000 plus. I'm leaning more towards Anthony West's hypothesis of 36 to 40,000 years old. Okay, we're talking about some really ancient stuff here, super ancient, and the weathering of the actual rock is the physical evidence. I found an image. Let me save it here now. And the rocks don't lie. They record history. Okay, they record history like a USB hard drive records things on your computer. There's no way to escape it. So mainstream, as much as they want to lie about things and fabricate and make things up, certain things they just can't make up. Okay, let me get this image now. I just found it, and let me get it up here. Okay, remove that from the studio and add this other image file. Okay, where is it? This it? There we go. So here's another image, another great photo. Look how beautiful everyone is. Look how incredible everyone looks. Everyone's what's up? What's up, Pandora? Everyone's dressed up incredible. Everyone looks nice. We're at an ancient site, getting ready to have an incredible dinner. And imagine just putting on some nice clothes in the desert and walking down a red carpet to entertainment and dancers and music and chefs and everything else, It's just incredible. What's up, Peter? And so just was an incredible, incredible night. And we all had an incredible, great time. And you can be a part of things like this by just joining me and hanging out with me and coming to hang out. Everyone got a chance to talk with me. I would rotate my seats at dinners and lunches and breakfasts. I rotate where I sit. So I'm sitting with everybody. At some point, I sat and talked to every single person multiple times over the course of those 12 days. I walked with different parts of the groups. I rotated different buses so that I wouldn't just be on one bus. I really worked the room, so to speak. I really took my time and my energy to take pictures and photos with everyone, to joke and have fun with everyone, to engage in great conversations with everyone, is what I did. And it was just, it was amazing. Okay. And that's what we do. We just, it's all about community. It's community building. More important than anything is community building, and getting to meet your tribe, people that are on the same frequency as you, people that think the same way that you think, people that you can talk to about just about anything, and they're not going to think that you're crazy or challenge you in a way that is not healthy, right? It's okay not to agree with everything, but everyone there is going to be on a healthy communication and healthy conversation to exchange ideas and concepts and theories and things like that. It's just stuff that you just can't get unless you're hanging around your tribe, which is what makes it so important, right? And so people on this tour found their tribe. They found their tribe on the Forbidden Tour. All right. So just beautiful. And we have these tours, we have a lot of tours coming up, actually. I'll just tell you some of the tours we have coming up real quick. We have the Forbidden Tour of Egypt 2026. We have the Forbidden Tour of Turkey 2026. The Turkey tour is going to be mind-boggling and amazing. Göbekli Tepe, Darren Kuyu. We're going to be traveling all throughout ancient Mesopotamia, underground cities, ancient underground cities, ancient sites, live archaeological digs. While they're still pulling up discoveries, you'll be standing right there. I just dropped a link to Turkey in the live chat in case you want to come to Turkey. If you're seeing this and you can't get a live chat like on X or Instagram or something, just go to the link in my bio and look for the Forbidden Tour of Turkey, right? Yeah, just check that out, right? And then also, let me see. Let me go in here again. What else we got? We have Mexico, by the way. I just confirmed Mexico with Timothy Hogan. So we'll be doing Mexico, and I'll give you the dates real quick. Mexico is going to be October 25th through November the 6th of 2026. October the 25th through October the 6th. October 25th through November the 6th, 2026 will be the incredible Mexico tour. That's going to be another mind-boggling. So I don't have a link for that yet, but I'll get you the link as soon as possible. And we have a tour of Australia as well. The link for that's in my bio. Okay, tour of Australia, also in the caption of this video, to go see the Gosford glyphs. So many incredible sites and places coming up. And if you want to come hang out with me in person, you can come see me in just 2 weeks. Come hang out with me in LA. I just dropped the link in the live chat. I'll be in LA at the Carson Center. The Carson Center on Carson Street, which is technically in Carson, California, hosted by Billy Carson, the 4 C's. So come hang out with me November the 8th for 8 hours, interactive live teaching, the Manifest Destiny 2025 workshop in a couple of weeks in LA at the Carson Center, with Robert Edward Grant and Mike Rashid teaching as well. Okay, you don't want to miss that. If you can make it, come on out. The link has been dropped in a live chat. The link is also in the caption of this video, and the link is in my bio as well, no matter where you're listening or watching this, okay? Now I have something else I want to shift into. We talked about that, but before I shift into that, let me just play this quick clip for you. Multiplied by action equals manifestation. CT multiplied by A equals M. You cannot get to the manifestation without first having the conscious thought. Once you have the conscious thought, that is not enough. There has to be a second part to this. The second part is the action steps. You have to multiply that thought by action. It's going to take several steps of action before something can manifest into reality. Without the action steps, without the energy exchange, the manifestation usually doesn't happen. So the CT multiplied by A equals M is your absolute formula for success in manifesting your reality. Because why? It taps into the first principle, all is mind. All right, so if you want to learn more about that, come to Manifest Destiny 2025, November the 8th at the Carson Center on Carson Street in Carson, California, hosted by me, Billy Carson. And also, if you really want to find your tribe, a tribe that I teach these techniques to every day, and I become your mentor, okay? I'm going to drop the link right now to my Forbidden Knowledge Academy. I just dropped the link to the Forbidden Knowledge Academy in the live chat. All right, so one more thing, a couple more things I want to get into tonight. I want to talk about 3-Eye Atlas. I haven't talked about that yet, right? 3-Eye Atlas. We know that 3-Eye Atlas is an amazing anomaly. I just literally interviewed Avi Loeb, I was the first person to interview Avi Loeb, the head of astrophysics at Harvard University, to talk about 3-Eye Atlas before everyone else, including the news, CNN and Fox and Discovery Channel, and everyone, Travel Channel, all got a hold of him. I was the very first on this platform. Avi Loeb was here talking about 3-Eye Atlas when it was still an enormous amount of miles away. This thing now is already here. It's pretty close. It's already maneuvering around the sun. It's on a guided trajectory an intelligently designed trajectory inside of the ship itself. I call it a ship, is intelligently designed. It has thrust vector. So 3i Atlas has its own thrust vector. What does that mean? Well, when you have a comet or an asteroid, as they move towards the sun, they have natural outgassing because the cosmic rays begin to heat it up and friction begins to heat up from gravitational lensing. And all of a sudden, this thing begins to heat up and vibration and friction get created inside of it. And then the outgassing of whatever this thing is made of, right? Ice crystals, particles, whatever it is, water. Sometimes there's water in there, so they turn into ice. Sometimes it could be propane, believe it or not. That's kind of so cold that it's part of the object that begins to off gas, or hydrogen. All these different things a comet or an asteroid could be made of. And of course, there's metals and everything else there. But this outgassing happens. And so when it gasses out, that shifts the trajectory of the object a little bit, because it's like little tiny thrusters coming out in random locations. So you can see in a real comet or asteroid shift its trajectory randomly on its flight path because of outgassing as it approaches the sun. That's actually normal. What's not normal is for this thing to have a coma around it that's stable with no outgassing and only a thrust vector coming out of the rear and pivoting, making it angle at specific junctions. So now all of a sudden we have this object that's about just a little bit bigger than Manhattan in New York. That's how big it is. And it's moving at about, I don't know, some crazy like 140 miles a second. And it has thrust vectoring, and it's got its own shield. Maybe it's to bend cosmic rays or prevent particles in space from damaging it as it moves at that speed. Who knows what it is? But the one thing we do know, asteroids and comets don't have thrust vectoring. They don't navigate space with a purpose. They don't navigate and move into a particular trajectory to allow themselves to navigate through a solar system without hitting any planets and moons. They don't coordinate and approach towards the sun and show braking, right? They don't show that. So if you're in space and you're utilizing massive bodies like planets and moons for gravitational assist, which we've done with probes and stuff, as you approach your next object, your next spatial body that you want to harness the energy of it, you have to do something called braking. You have to slow down just enough to obtain a Lagrange point and spin around that Lagrange point around that object, whether it's a sun or a planet or a moon, at a specific rate of speed, and utilize and harness the energy or the gravity of that spatial body to slingshot you deeper into space, saving you an enormous amount of fuel and energy by harvesting the energy of the gravitational field of that spatial body. This thing is displaying all the characteristics of an artificially made, intelligently designed object. Images have come in, okay, that are showing interesting characteristics. Take a look at this. These are some of the images of 3i Atlas. When you look at these images, they just don't look like a rock. This image kind of look on the left, the first two on the left kind of look like the Death Star from Star Wars. They have the octagon hole in the center there, right? And look at the right side close-up image of this thing that came in. What in the world is that design on the side of this object? Let's take a closer look at that. What is that on 3i Atlas? This is bizarre. This is very, very bizarre. I'm not going to make a hard claim on what I think it is. I'll let you figure out what you think it is for yourself. But I don't think this is a rock. I just don't think we're looking at a damn rock. And that's my personal opinion. I just don't think we're looking at a rock. Rocks with afros, I guess. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is one of the most monumental discoveries of all time. Of all time. Monumental. And this thing is rendezvousing with us. I know that Avi Loeb's science team sent probes to collect particles from the tail of this thing. I'm waiting to get that science data from him. All right. I'm waiting to get that science data. But these are official images. And what we're seeing here is extremely interesting, to say the least. Extremely interesting. Nobody knows what it is. I'm not going to make a hard claim. We can all assume what we all think it might be. But it's just very interesting. And after seeing this, I just don't believe it's a rock. I just don't believe it anymore. I'm on Avi Loeb's side. When a Harvard astrophysicist says this thing is artificial and displaying artificial tendencies, I'm going to go with him. This man went to school for this. Not that school matters so much, but he studied astrophysics at a very high level and became the head of an astrophysics department at a major university. He might know what he's talking about. He's risking losing his own job talking about these types of random topics. So for him to come out and go public worldwide about this, I'm going to lean towards him because he's putting everything on the line for it. Grant money, funding, you name it. I'm going to go with him. And I'm going to say after seeing this, I believe him now. This is not a rock. This is suspicious. Very, very suspicious. Look at this. Wild, huh? Just wild. So I'll be talking a lot more about 3i Atlas over the next couple weeks. But looking to get more data, looking to get more information on it. One of the most amazing things we'd ever see in a lifetime, and we were alive to see this now. We are alive to witness this now. And we have to take what we can get because who knows what's going to happen when they begin to suppress what it really is. At some point, they're going to take over the information. You know that. My hypothesis is that 3i Atlas is an artificially created object. Okay. It comes out of the region of the sky where the wow signal was discovered. Okay. The wow signal. And so the wow signal, I'll tell you, the wow signal, that was in 1977. Okay. And so the wow signal, I'm going to save this image and I'm going to put it on the screen for you real quick. The wow signal was a signal that was picked up by astronomers in 1977 that were scanning the sky for intelligent frequencies. And they picked up a frequency that was so intelligently designed and so incredible that the astronomer working that day wrote wow on the document that printed out the location of this signal. This is in a I was 7 years old, or I was either 6 or 7, depending on what month it was. This is how long ago they got this intelligently created and sent signal from this star. And that's the origin of where it came from in space. Okay? Now, that's right, Marcy. The same year I had the sighting was 1977. Marcy been paying attention. That's right, Marcy. Same year that I saw the UFO fly across my backyard, which is what got me into all this research in the first place. It was the first thing that started me down this path. In case you didn't know my story. There goes another one. David Christopher was born May 17th, 1977. But this signal came from this star. Now, why am I bringing this up? Well, when Avi Loeb's team of astrophysicists backtracked the origin of 3i Atlas, guess where it came from, guys and gals? Guess where this thing came from? It came from the wow signal star. No coincidence that this thing is real. It came from the Wow signal star. Now that's mind-boggling. So my hypothesis is that this thing that star system picked up a frequency of Earth. Whether it's a nuclear signature from us testing nukes and dropping nukes on people, because that resonates through space-time. Whether it's I Love Lucy from the 1960s radio waves that went out and they picked that up, because radio waves are waves of light that travel through space infinitely. And if you have the right equipment, you can detect that frequency. You can actually watch I Love Lucy 5 light years away if the frequency reaches you, right? So did they pick up ambient frequencies from Earth, signs of life traveling at the speed of light through space? Did they pick up frequencies from some of our early satellites that we had put up in space? Did they pick up signature of nuclear warfare? Whatever the case may be, they might have detected something that says, hey, there might be something alive over there that's intelligent. And then they may have sent another frequency back toward us to see if we can detect it. We picked up the Wow signal, 1977. And then, guess what? All of a sudden, this object is hailing from the same star. And now it's 2025. Took that long for it to get here. My hypothesis is this a probe coming to take a peek? Or it's so large, it's hard to imagine sending a probe that large, something the size of a city. So I had to evaluate, either these people are massive people, and it could be a probe based on the size of them. Maybe this is small to them, or maybe it's inhabited by people. Maybe there is a crew on a mission, a flyby mission. They chose a specific trajectory and coordinate to arrive here at a specific time, in a specific place, with us on a specific side of the sun, with Mercury in a specific location, Jupiter in a specific location. They were very careful in their timing. They orchestrated this. This is logistic planning, advanced logistics, because you have to know the orbital period of these planets around the sun and our movement around the sun as well, in order to time it this perfectly. And this could be a mission where maybe they are prepared to do one of two things. The first thing is to see if we're a friend or foe and how dangerous we are, to analyze that, and maybe to make a first handshake, right? A meet and greet. Or they've scanned us already now and realized that Earth is an absolute ghetto, and that all we're doing down here is unaliving one another's babies and poisoning one another through foods, destroying our own planet that we actually have to live on, consuming our resources at an abundant rate, spending too much time hating one another over the most trivial, ridiculous things like religion and politics and race color, skin color, and suppressing all of technologies that can help us heal and live and love one another. And so maybe they saw that already, and they're not ready for a seat at the table. We came all the way out here to say hello, and this is what we found. They've got 30,000 nukes pointed at themselves while they're still on the damn planet with no escape hatch. So just maybe they're not going to say hi this time. Maybe they're just going to say, let's keep our ass on this ship. Let's use this gravitational energy from this sun and slingshot around this sucker with this gravitational assist and get the hell out of here before they send some weapons at us. We'll come back again in another 100,000 years and see if they're ready then. But now they're not ready. That's my hypothesis. They came to inspect us. They came to check us out, They came to see if we are a threat to them. Are we a threat to other intelligent life within this sector or region of space as well, in the Milky Way galaxy? They found out that we're only a threat to ourselves. That we're self-inflicting our own self-inflicted wounds. That we're slicing our own selves to pieces and dicing our own kids to pieces and calling it progress. That's what they discovered. We're absorbing poisons through the air, through our skin, through our mouth, and that we're toxically poisoning the next generation with systems designed to rob our imagination and rob us of our sovereignty and our power, and that we're being ruled by less than 100 people. And they're just shaking their heads going, we thought they might have been ready for this meet and greet, but yeah, we got to come back later. We'll come back in another 100,000. We'll send a probe in 50 to see what's up. If the probe sends some good data back, maybe we'll come back a little sooner. But right now, you're just not ready yet. That's my hypothesis. That's my hypothesis. So we have a lot of work to do here as human beings on this planet. Because if they did just pull up into the atmosphere, the first thing we would do is send weapons to attack them, fire Hellfire missiles, Reaper drones. We might have a submarine fire a nuke, pop a nuke at them, we'll scale our weapons, highly advanced weapons that we may have already. We're going to test it out on their craft and see if we can bring them down so that we can steal it and reverse engineer the technology so we can turn it into monetized tech for our people on Earth and all these crazy things. We can turn it into weapons for ourselves, advanced weaponry, if we can steal it from them. That's the mindset of the ruling elite of this planet. Theft, bribery, war, unaliving. That's what they want. That's the life that they chose. So it's up to us as people on this planet. There are 8 billion of us, technically 8.2 or 8.3 billion now. We have to wake the hell up. We have to stop this foolishness. We have to learn how to collaborate and work together. Collaboration over competition. Stop falling for divide and conquer tactics. Stop falling for the foolishness. Start loving one another. Start helping one another. Stop falling for the poly trickster scam. I told you, every 4 years, I tell you again, stop worrying about voting for presidents. Vote for yourself. And every 4 years, I post my voting ballot with my name on it that I put inside the box. I vote for me. I even made my own presidential address this newest election. I recorded it on this YouTube account because I nominated myself and I became the president of my life and the president of my family, the president of my community. If each one of us took on a presidency of our own lives and our own communities and took that oath to heart and really acted on it, imagine the change that we would see all around us if we all became our own presidents and stopped groveling at the feet of some pompous pig leader that only wants to enrich him or herself. I told you, stop giving your energy to these outside sources. I told you, stop believing in these outside people. Stop praising and praying to these outside people and giving them all your energy. One of the biggest things that happened to prove me right again was this newest presidency. Everyone was, oh my God, look at this. This is great. We made it. And then now they're all like, what the hell is going on here? This is the greatest flip-flop in politics I've ever seen. People go so hard for someone and then wake up and realize, oh shit, this ain't right. Stop putting your faith in outside sources. Put your faith in yourself. I'm going to say that again. Stop putting your faith in outside sources. Put your faith in yourself, because At the end of the day, only you know what you can do that's right and that's wholesome. If you want to get something done, in most cases, the best way to get it done right is to do it yourself. So why would you trust an outside source to do it for you? Do you think someone from a political office in Washington is going to come to your local city and fix it and fix the problems within it and clean it up and take the dirt off the streets in a literal way and get the kids straightened out and get them working harder and learning better and all these? Do you really believe that? It's never going to happen. The ghetto where I grew up in Miami, it's the same ghetto. And I was there for Nixon. I was there for the peanut farmer, right? I was there for Reagan. I was there for Bush Sr. Who else was after Bush Sr.? I was there for Clinton. And then who came after Clinton? Bush Jr., then Obama, then Trump, then Biden, now Trump again. Go back to my hood. It's worse. It's worse. Today, there's a 12-foot barbed wire gate around the elementary school. That gate wasn't there when I was a kid. Yes, it was already bad. The crossing guards would rob me on the way to school for my money or my lunch, either or. I used to have to sneak into school, elementary school. Imagine sneaking into elementary school by going down a back road and going around and going behind the area where the crossing guards are, so you don't get robbed. And it's worse than that now. Look how many presidents I just named. Jimmy Carter, Nixon to Jimmy Carter, all the way up to Trump again. Do you think for 1 minute that these people give a damn about Opelika, Miami, Florida? And you're running around, can't wait to go vote for these people and go give them your energy. They don't give a shit about you. Get it in your thick head. They don't care about you or your family or your legacy or your future generation. They don't care. They don't care. They only care about enriching themselves and putting their boot on your neck by any means necessary. And until you figure that out, your life is going to be shit. And you're going to spend your whole time hating people in your family because they believe in this one and that one, and they got the blue and they got the red, and we're going to have a family argument because of this and that, and I'm ousted from the family, and this part of the family can't talk to that part of the family, and friends aren't friends anymore because these people are a political party, this and that. You sound stupid. This is what 3i Atlas is looking at. They're tapping into the radio frequency. They're tapping into our cell phone frequencies. They're tapping into everything we have running here on this planet, all the frequencies of data packets throughout the internet. They're running it through a quantum computer that's processing all that information in seconds and spitting out an answer to them. Don't fuck with these people because they're fucking crazy. That's 3i Atlas. That's what they're doing. And guess what? They're right. This planet is full of mentally ill people. Severely mentally ill people. We need a gigantic galactic counselor to come down here and pimp slap us upside the head and get us straightened the hell out. That's what's going on with 3i Atlas. So you ask, that's the answer. Anyway, y'all, sometimes I get snappy, man. Sometimes I just got to go in because it has to be said. It just nobody's going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because I don't give a damn. Period, point blank. I don't give a damn. Now, y'all know me for years. You know, I'm going to tell you like it is, whether you like it or you don't like it. I really don't care. All right. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I want to see you on my next Forbidden Tour. the next Forbidden Tour. And don't forget to join my Forbidden Knowledge Academy. All right. I'm going to drop you the link to the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. 4BK Academy is doing phenomenal. We have people all over the world. If you want to find your tribe and talk and communicate on a daily basis with people all over the world, you got to join the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. And I'll drop the link in the live chat for you right now. The 4BK Academy is blossoming and doing incredible things. And we are all in there teaching and learning together. I have billionaires and millionaires come on to help teach with me. And this Tuesday coming up, I have a woman, I have divine feminine energy coming on to teach. She's a $100 million plus earner, and she's conscious. And she's going to come share that conscious knowledge with that finance knowledge Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Don't miss it. I'm bringing divine feminine. A couple weeks ago, I had a billionaire on, Michael V. Roberts, one of the black billionaires of America, come on to teach and answer questions. And this week, I'll have another 100+ millionaire earner. Can you imagine earning $100 million and still maintaining your sovereignty and your consciousness? Well, this person was able to do it, and we're going to find out how she was able to do it. And that's going to be Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I just dropped the link in the live chat. So make sure you join the Forbidden Knowledge Academy, because I go live with mentors. Every week, I'm in there teaching, vibing. This Saturday, actually, you have a chance to talk to me on Saturday. So you got to join today to talk to me this Saturday, as I'm taking a question and answer from every single person for a few hours, but only in the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. Another thing I just did was, in the Forbidden Knowledge Academy only, I created a special app, an app that will help give you a game plan to avoid losing your income to AI and automation. And this app allows you to input your job, your field of work. It will give you a risk factor, low, medium, high risk. And then it will give you 2 pivot options of businesses that you can start in the same industry to generate income for yourself and your family. And it takes it a step further. It gives you a full-blown, step-by-step, turnkey business plan. It's all generated on the fly in real time, specifically for you. You can only get that inside the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. So when I go live tomorrow, I'm going to demonstrate the app. It's a private app available in the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. So I'll drop the link again. You can go in there and type I don't care what job it is. It will tell you the risk factor, and then it will give you 2 pivots, and then it will give you a turnkey business plan. Turnkey. So again, providing solutions to problems. That's what we do. We are out here being warriors, not worriers. If you're a worrier, then my knowledge and my programs aren't for you. If you want to be a warrior, then I'm the right person for you. We out here battling, period, point blank. We're battling out here. And we ain't taking no for an answer. So join the 4BK Academy. I just dropped the link in the live chat. I'll see you on Saturday for the Q&A, where I'm demonstrating how the app works live on Saturday and how it's going to be installed into the Academy. The app is already live. It already works. I'll be demonstrating it. And then also Tuesday night, I have some divine feminine energy coming on, a multi-million-dollar conscious earner coming on to teach and answer questions Tuesday night. So don't miss that as well. All right. Anyway, I'll catch y'all later. So have a great night. It's 11:30 p.m. Eastern. It's a late one, but you guys are warriors, so you were able to hang out. I appreciate y'all, all right? And I'll see y'all on Saturday. Peace.
If there were any one period in time one would desire to be born in,
I became a master.
Imagined scenario for a real one.
Hey everyone, it's Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge. In a world built to keep you asleep, a few are born with the fire to remember. And there comes a moment in every soul's journey where the illusion cracks, when the truth is no longer just a whisper in your dreams, but a roaring fire in your spirit. On November the 8th, in the heart of Los Angeles and on live stream, I'll be joined by my brothers Mike Rashid King and Robert Edward Grant, warriors of the mind, body, and soul. This is Manifest Destiny 2025, a gathering of warriors, seekers, and creators of the new earth. You'll leave with tools, you will leave with family, and most of all, you'll leave with the God frequency to change your life and the world around you. And there's only 800 seats available in person, and when they're gone, they're gone. So go to manifestdestiny2025.com and get your tickets today.